What's going on, everybody? Good morning. It's your friend Will. It's the memory lapse. It's a bit of a bummer this morning because Quick Singleton doesn't start for another 5 hours, but I will be productively at work by then. Let me show the deck real quick. I'm going to try to make a couple decks, but I started in the most obvious place with my collection, which is a black, blue, green kind of value deck. And also look at all these Singleton lands. I'm assuming it's the same Singleton rules, like you can have as many of the basics as you want, but only one Catacomb, only one Fetid Pools. But luckily I have the full 3x of each. Dual plus Aether Hub plus Evolving Wilds for the fixing. And we're going to play a Renegade map and a Traveler's Amulet to help us fix. Bloodfast because it's Singleton. Poisoner because it functions as reusable removal with Muldrotha. Zealot just to draw. Implement of Malice because I thought this would be a good way to loop, something to loop with Muldrotha potentially to draw, and then it's also just like soft, colorless card drawing, at least help us filter through our deck. So kind of like the second Dusk Legion Zealot with upside. Squire, Initiate for ramp and fixing, Branchwalker, Treasure Map, Champion of Wits, Banewhip Punisher, more recurable removal, Rishkar. Yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just a lot of value creatures, a little bit of fixing, a little bit of removal. Like even things like Phyrexian Scriptures can be looped with Muldrotha if you ever find it. It is Singleton, so it's harder to do. A Karn, because I am playing a few artifacts, and I figured that the -2 could have value in this deck. This deck started as like 90 cards. It was like really hard to trim it down to 60. There's a lot of like cool effects that I kind of want to have in here, but then I'm assuming that this isn't going to be like pay 500 gold type of quick constructed event, so I do want to be competitive and not be burning. I am playing this. This seems kind of fun. This is maybe too cute. Maybe needs to be cut. Rascal Muldrotha, Walking Ballista, and currently it's at 24 lands, so it's possible that, what did I say, 9, 10, 11, yeah, 17, 19, 24, so it's possible I should cut the In Bolus's Clutches for a 25th land. Maybe we'll do that after we do one run, so hopefully I'll be able to record that like later today or tomorrow. We'll see. But then in the meantime, we're going to do our quests. And I'm going to play a little bit of a black-red control deck that I haven't really played on stream or on video before. I took a black-red control deck that Thundermo was playing, and I think it was his own design, and kind of watched him lose a bunch of games with it. And I liked the core of the deck. And weirdly, he was playing treasure maps, but he wasn't playing Karn, and it seemed like the deck was really lacking in draw and ways to finish the game. So I trimmed a few cards and put in the Karns. And so I don't know if it's going to be the most exciting deck, but we have to make red and black spells. So let's play it in ladder constructed. And then if we win the first one, maybe I'll start a competitive run with it. I love the idea of playing Angrath. And ladder constructed is, I think, more aggressive than competitive constructed. I think we can keep this. We're missing red, but hopefully with the treasure map we can find it. And Fatal Push will buy us the time. Okay. Perfect. So some kind of blue deck, so we should be able to lean on this map. I could look to cycle the Sweltering Suns here, but I think we're not in a rush to do this. We can do this at any point, and we'd rather fix our draw. So like we don't need that fatal push against this deck, I assume. Fight with Fire is not terrible. It is kind of one of the win conditions of the deck. But yeah, we're going to be digging for red source, for Karn. I'm a little worried in this match, best of one, because we're at the point in the game where we haven't done anything. I don't think we want that. And now we can cycle the Sweltering Suns. Instead of stopping our upkeep, because we might want to flip the map in our upkeep. But we could be at the point in the game where we have, we're only going to be trying to resolve one thing a turn, and it's going to perfectly line up with their permission, and they're going to beat us. Alright, so I don't think we're flipping in our upkeep. Just going to draw. And let's try to take a look at their hand. Okay. So Censor we can play around. Okay. I guess the card we want to take here is the Pole. All of this white removal doesn't really do anything to us. We can play around the Censor. The Gearhulk we can kill. So let's take the Pole. And let's just hope that we fade them drawing a hard counter. We'll flip the treasure map and we'll be able to resolve a Planeswalker around the Censor. I think we're going to be looking to play Karn first. Start making artifacts. Maybe we want to make Chandra first. So I don't want to play that hard into their removal right away. We have to draw red to make Chandra. So they have 2 unknown cards, so we kind of have to hope. Perfect. We'll see if they drew something. And they did. Okay. So then I will just try to play Karn here off of treasures. And plus. Start getting value. We just have to hope this is not a cast out. Or there's not a cast out in the top couple cards of their deck. So now we just have to dig our way to Angrath and keep making land drops to win the fight with fire. Okay. So, only 1 unknown card. Although now the Gearhulk gets to bring back the Disallow. So, with that in mind, I think we're just plussing for now. No. Yeah, let's just plus. They don't have a good Gearhulk target. Cool. So 4 plus 5. We can set up in a couple turns. We can set up trying to play both Chandra and Angrath. if they're thinking about just playing the Torrential Gearhulk for no value. Okay. So with that on the stack, we'll just kill it. So they can't pressure the Karn. That's really good for us. I mean, obviously they're going to look at a couple cards here now with this opt, but now we can start minusing Karn, taking back Planeswalkers, trying to resolve them. We'll start with Chandra. I think both of these are must counters, and let's just hope this is not a disallow. Cycle sensor, you got it. Oh, and let's draw first blood here. And cool. Move the land to the graveyard. Right where we want it. Or it's exiled. Same difference. Our opponent, I'm guessing, has lost to a lot of red decks and has built a control deck designed to beat them with white damage-based removal. Brass is condemned, no targets. I'm happy to go for Engrath here. Oh wow, they did draw Gearhulk, that sucks. Still have the disallow in the graveyard. Oh, that's okay. It's unfortunate that Karn will likely eat it here. Yeah, let's draw. I don't think we have anything that can answer this for 3. But we can fight with fire at next turn. Kicked. We can even use the Chandra Plus to help pay for it. We could also just fight. Let's do this. Let's see what we get off Chandra. We don't need the mana. Alright. We whiff a land. And we can like fight it for 3. And then sack dead lands to it. Kill it. Is there any reason that that's better than just kicking? I guess it plays around a card like Syncopate. And it plays around Censor. If they have bounce here, that sucks, but... Oh, okay. So I guess our play next turn is going to be the Ult Chandra. And try to just resolve Planeswalkers. Yep, so here's Chandra again. And even if we don't resolve them, this gets them dead pretty quick. Alright, they conceded. Yeah, so this deck, that's probably a matchup we're supposed to lose. We got really lucky that our opponent's hand was just full of like white removal. Oh, cool. We get unlucky that our game is bugging out here. So let's see real quick. To like Alt Tab and close out. And looks like we did get credit for the win, which is great. Alright, let's do one more, because that game took a while. I don't want to jump into a best of 3 with it. But I think this deck could be played in best of 3 with sideboard. If anything, maybe the main deck gets split a little bit more. Like right now it's very anti-creature. Oh, we can keep this. With hands like this, I always wonder whether it's worth it to hold the sooo. Another blue-white deck. Because yeah, if we just keep ripping land, then eventually we would have rather hold that to cycle it. Oh, blue-white black. Okay. Looks like we're going to be cycling this turn. I do like this card against the Chain Whirler decks, but they're not nearly as present as the Reddit would make you believe. So do we think our opponent's playing Negate or Syncopate? Syncopate is a probable card. And I guess that means with this hand we shouldn't try to just jam Karn yet. Because we really have no other action going on. Okay. Yeah, so let's hang back. We'll cycle the Sweltering Suns again. This is why we're disadvantaged in matchups like this in traditional draw go. Like our opponent last game, I think just had a weird build of the deck, a very budget build. But wow, that truck is so loud. Well, we're sitting back here trying to like draw into a Doomfall just to see their hand. They just get to resolve Glimmers. But that's one of the reasons I want to try this in best of 3, because then we can side in duresses and stuff, and be a little more proactive in trying to resolve our threats. And this deck overloads on planeswalkers. Like, there's only so many cast outs that they're going to have for it. But we have to be able to maneuver around the... Look at that. So we have actually only drawn land. Or no, maybe we drew the Sweltering Sun. We've only drawn land other than that. So we should have held this slow. We could have gotten one more cycle in. And they're discarding Sealaways. Yeah, we're in trouble now, because even if they tap out for Teferi, they're going to plus and untap and have enough to counter whatever we play. Next land. Oh, what is this? Okay. A lot of dead cards here. I think we're going to cycle this now. Just try to hit something like a Vraska's Contempt or a Doomfall. Other Karn. So we can test and try to resolve one now into this small amount of mana, but disallow, syncopate, negate, all of these, counter it here. Yep. This one would have been a little more exciting if we had drawn anything other than land the entire game. But it's the disadvantage of playing no blue. Like, you just get no filter. 1 and 2 permanents, okay. Then this will probably meet another counterspell. There's counting to see. Oh, wow. Alright. I guess they have a cast out or something. They figured they'll let us plus it once. Cast it out. Both of those are pretty decent. They sort of put us back in this game. Like, if we can find a Doomfall, something to see their hand, then we can... Okay. They're going for Karn. Makes sense. They can only target creatures, not my treasure map. Nope, don't need another land. So let's set the stop on our upkeep here to make sure we're not drawing something terrible. Doomfall's decent. Doesn't answer this, unfortunately, but I think we need to take it. Oh, good. That's actually great. I was really worried that they were just going to push this to 7 and put us in a position where we basically will never be able to win through their emblem. But they decide to mine us. So we have an extra turn to draw an answer to that. We have to save this Doomfall for the turn we're trying to resolve something. Let's see. Oh, I thought they might be gear hulking there. At least the abrades are turned on against the gear hulk in the destroy artifact mode. Alright, they're back to ticking up. So if they had gone up the turn before, we would have been forced to just try to fight with fire them there. Alright, so let's flip our treasure map, get those tokens. So we can actually Doomfall and kick fight with fire, I believe, with these tokens. Yeah, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. More than enough. Fatal Push is a dead draw. But let's take a look at what they're working with. I'm expecting to see just like a lot of seal aways and stuff here, considering that they haven't won the game at this point. Negate. Alright. It's not safe to try. I think the best course of action is to sacrifice a treasure and look for like Vraska's Contempt. Or another Doomfall. Fatal Push number 3. Not what I wanted. Yeah. Game 1 is so tough with all these dead cards. So we're in a position where we have to try to fight this thing next turn. And they just have a full grip of counter magic. Most likely. If they implement, we're just going to scoop. Ooh, Angrath. Angrath doesn't do enough. Okay. Chandra also doesn't do enough, because it no longer can be redirected to the Planeswalker. Which means our only shot of winning and this is terrible because we have to tap down. So maybe what we need to try to do is just play both Planeswalkers here and win with them through the emblem. Rather than tap down, just have the fight with fire countered. And if they both get countered and we get emblemed, then we've lost. I guess we'll add red to make paying for the Angrath easier. Okay, that resolves. Okay. Yep. So, yeah, we're not going to play through only untapping too. Stuck with dead cards. But the sideboard, I still don't know. I mean, against that deck, I think we probably should win with sideboard. I'll show real quick what we have in the sideboard. Is Duress, Bloodfast, Siphoners, Doomfall, and even Lost Legacy if we want. So we're bringing in 6, 10, 11, maybe even 12 cards in this matchup, and cutting 7, 11. Like, we just have so much stuff to cut. So the sideboard, I think, makes that like a lot more, that the plan of resolving a Planeswalker and just running wild with it, a lot more executable. Like, unfortunately, that second game was kind of like a snooze fest where we drew lands for 10 turns and did nothing, but it still kind of felt close because they did nothing too. This happened to have a ton of permission by the time we drew gas. So I think this deck is kind of fun enough to try out. I might cut one Fight with Fire, like work on this list a little bit more for competitive constructed, because I don't think the Fight with Fire is like that good. Yeah, it just doesn't feel that good. I'm trying to think of what would be better. Like, maybe main decking one Bloodfast would be really good. Like, I like Fight with Fire for the flexibility, but I don't know. It actually might just be too much. It might not be good. Might just need to cut all 3 of them and play something a little more interactive to help us in those game ones against anything that's not a red deck. So, anyways, let's see. A somewhat unsuccessful coffee and quest this morning, but we're a little pressed on time. Oh, where'd my quests go? There they are. We're making progress, and yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be back and playing some Singleton as well. So, look forward to that later.